Hello everyone, how are you doing? It is Tuesday, the 12th of December, and my name is Eva. I'm coming to you from my home in Perth, Scotland, where I organise Perth Festival of Yarn. I just wanted to pop in today to talk a little bit about my two active whips and share them with you. I'm trying to do it now while the light is semi-decent because unlike most of the UK, it's been far too cold for snow here. It's sort of keeping around sort of minus 10 degrees, about midday here at the moment. It's just far too cold for snow. There's a thick layer of ice everywhere, and quite honestly, if you don't have to go out, just don't go out. Don't go outside. It's one of these times where I'm even more grateful that I generally work from home. Enough waffle. All the places where you can find me and Perth Festival of Yarn you will find in the down bar, just down here, along with the details of the yarns and the patterns I'm about to share with you today. So first up is the one and only festive present that I am knitting this year. But I wanted to knit a pair of socks for my mother-in-law, who is completely knit-worthy. And this is the first one so far, so I still need to pop in the heel, and it is just twisting slightly, just the way that I'm holding it. There's my waist yarn. That's where my heel's going to go in. It will be an afterthought heel. It's just a plain sock. I'm letting the yarn do the talking. It has a little bit of sparkle, which is quite cheerful. And I think I mentioned before on the podcast that my mother-in-law works as a carer, so she is on her feet most days, looking after the elderly or people who need additional support to live their everyday lives. And she's always jumping about on buses or walking to her next care, so she spends an awful lot of time on her feet every single day. And when she's not doing that, she's helping to care for my 7-year-old nephew Theo, who lives with his mum at his nana's house. So she's definitely knit-worthy. She does love my hand knits, genuinely. I've caught her out several times in town when she's been wearing them. She hasn't expected to bump into me. So I know that she really does enjoy them. So the yarn that I'm using is Opal. I do love Opal sock yarns. This is Opal mit Silbereffekt, which just means Silbereffekt. It's from their Funny range, and this is Drollig, which translates as droll. The colour is 9334, and I'm going to put in a contrasting heel colour because when I had a red moustache and found some solid colour Opal, I already had. So this is what I've got left. I've used it in I think it was a shawl before that I'd used in, oh, what was it I did? It was a bias knit asymmetric triangle shawl a couple of years ago, and I used the Knitting Goddess Royale with cheese. That was one of the main colours, and then I used a couple of Opal self colours to kind of complement that and stripe it at different points. So this is Grasgrun, or Grasgrun as they call it, fourfach. It's 4-ply. It's your usual 75-25% mix, as you would expect Opal generally to be, and it's colour 1990. And I think that's going to work really well. It doesn't quite match the other shades of green that I've got in this, but I don't think that matters particularly. It might actually be nicer just being slightly off from the ones that I've got there. So that's fine. And I've just cast on the next one there. The second active whip I've got, and excuse me, I'm just going to have a little bit of coffee here before it goes cold. We've got new neighbours that have just moved next door, just bought the house. And they walk back and forth a lot. And they must be thinking, what on earth is she doing just talking to herself right now? Right, so moving on. Because you're not here to hear me blethering on a lot of nonsense. What you're here for is the yarns and the patterns and all that sort of stuff. So I am taking part in Liz from TreLiz's Westknits along, I suppose, for lack of a better name. It's a KAL that started on the 1st of December, running up until the end of March, I believe, where you can knit any or multiple Westknits patterns using the hashtag WestTreLiz18. I'll pop the hashtag down here as well. West and TreLiz share the T in this instance, they haven't duplicated it. I'm knitting an exploration station, and the colours that are showing up on the screen at the minute are pretty in your face, and that's just exactly how the shawl is. There is nothing subtle about this knit at all. So I am using Hallelujah by Dye Ninja, Rohrspatz and Wollemeise in a neon orange here. It didn't have a name. This one here, this mint green, is Suspicious Minds. It's by TreLiz. And this one here, I don't know if the camera will pick up on it, but it has stellina. So we've got a bit of razzle dazzle sparkle going on in there as well. This is Lemon Incest. I loved doing the short row showdown section of the pattern. That was really fun to kind of see it growing, and once you kind of got into it, it was a little difficult at the beginning to understand what Stephen meant from his cast on, because it is like an I-cord cast on, and then you're picking up stitches, and it's pretty good, even if I do say so myself, and then you kind of continue I-cord edging down the sides of the shawl. But Stephen does have tutorials all the way. That said, I did struggle a bit with the brioche, because this is my first time doing 2-colour brioche. Done a single one before, and that was fine getting my head around it and understanding that. I understood the concept of doing a 2-colour brioche, but I found the turning of it once you got to the end of the row and what you do the most difficult part to kind of overcome, and I'm not convinced that I do have it quite right, but it's neat, and that's all I'm really kind of concerned about at this point. I am generally a perfectionist knitter, but this I honestly can live with. It is my first time, it's not going to be perfect. It doesn't matter how many years you've been knitting, if you learn a new technique, it needs practice. I struggled a bit with Stephen's tutorial for this one, and it's simply because I'm an English style knitter and I throw my yarn, get my yarn around the needle, so I don't tension it with my fingers. I certainly don't knit continental style, so it was a bit confusing to kind of get my head around that. But I checked out YouTube and I watched several videos from several different people doing it in different styles, and eventually I got there. So the increases, because it does increase a bit, there is a bit of shaping. It's better on one side than the other. Excuse me a wee moment, I'm going to go off camera. Yes. Right, so it does increase a bit. I'm happy. It's neater on one side than on the other. It's livable. I've done it. And I'm quite proud of myself for getting through. There we go. Look at how that pops. That's the front. So it's orange and the mint. And that's the reverse side, which possibly pops even more with it being a lighter colour. But I do quite like having the orange down like that. And I've just done the first 4 rows on the next section. The sort of, what has he called it? I can't quite remember what he's called it. I think it's sassy slips or something like that. So there's some slip stitching going on and such, but there's a lot of stitches per row. It is going to take time to do. This isn't exactly time critical, and I know I'm fine with my socks, but I really should just crack on and do Julia's socks in time for Christmas. But look at that guys, isn't that pretty good? I think this is the side, yeah, this is the side where it looks pretty bang on from a brioche increasing, even if I do say so myself. Look at that. The other side isn't quite so good, I don't think. but you wouldn't really know, and no one's really going to come up and look that close at the shawl as I'm wearing it. So the yarns, the Hallelujah by Dye Ninja was a gift from Sheila, who's an incredibly talented dyer, and she was a vendor at Perth Festival of Yarn this year, and she very kindly told me at the end of the festival to go up and choose some yarn from her stock. That's the one that I went for, and it's actually got some purpley tones in it as well that you can't really pick up on screen. The Rohrspatz Wollemeise came from EYF in 2016, and the TreLiz colours here. Those ones I bought from Liz when she came all the way over from Athens to take part in Perth Festival of Yarn this year, which is just truly, truly epic. There we go. I'll show you a finished piece that I've got as well. I showed this one to you last time I had a wee chat, and if you've been following me on Instagram, you will have seen some pretty good shots of this that were taken out in my garden at the weekend. But I'm not keeping it. It's going to a friend, which is why I'm not wearing it today. So this is, and I won't get it all in shot, I'll just have to kind of show you pieces of it. This is now named, it's Lens Flare by Suvi Simola, and I did it for Suvi as a test knit. It's very kindly given the yarns by my friends Fu and B at Cosmic Strings. So this beautiful gold colour here. This is Buttercup, and the reddish shade is called Brick, and it's blocked out beautifully. It keeps going on, it goes on. So my dear friend Tracy of Black and Felt Studio had seen this in progress and proceeded to tell me that she's been dreaming about this shawl. So I'm going to give it to her. Let's get a look. This is sort of the brick section. The lace is just stunning, it's just beautiful. It was a fantastic knit. There were no errors in the pattern that was given to test anyway. Very clearly written. Absolute dream to knit. I will do more of this pattern in the future. Suvi's just fantastic to kind of be associated with anyway, so I feel really privileged that she chose me to knit this for her. It's massive. It's a massive, massive, big, slightly symmetrical shawl. There we go, in all its glory. So I have another couple of things that I want to show you today, and I haven't brought them over, so I'll pause for a second. And I'm back, as if by magic. So I had a happy meal day yesterday. But yesterday I was having a complete Monday. Yeah, probably less said about that, better. But I got two lovely pieces of mail. So first off, this epic card arrived from Aileen, who's a little bush baby. See that? Season's bleatings, and they're little knitted sheeps, and one has sparkly antlers on and a wee red snout. Look at them. So this fair made my day and cheered me, and not only that, Aileen has taken the time to crochet a little snowflake, which she included, which is extremely, extremely sweet of her. Thank you, Aileen. That's super kind. I was not expecting that in the post at all. And the second thing that arrived, I've been waiting for a little while. And it was totally worth the wait. Now I didn't get on the bandwagon several years ago, just because I was kind of in my own little nitty bubble in what I was doing, and it was the time that I was overcoming a lot of health things that were going on. So I wasn't involved in the Kickstarter campaign, although I have been a very big fan of this designer's for some time, and I have knit some of her designs before. But I did pre-order a collection of this thing of paper, and it arrived in the post yesterday, and I still need to private message Karie to say thank you. It's absolutely epic. I'm delighted. I don't know where to begin. I really, really don't. This is a complete labour of love. this book, and I'm sure you'll see umpteen podcasters and folk talking about it. I would have said really it's a love letter towards literature and knitwear and the massive influence that both have on Karie's life. So there are essays in here. There are essays, aren't there? Personal essays, atmospheric photographs, practical knitting advice. There are 11 patterns. And her Kickstarter backers got an extra hat pattern. I'm gutted because I absolutely love it. I want to knit the hat pattern, but it's exclusively for them. So yeah, not so good. I would have said 2017 for me has probably been a year of knitted esses. It's been all the shawls and all the socks. Feast or famine, depending on whether I've had time or not, or whether I've ended up, well in the case of Macher, having to do test knitting for various items. So I probably could do with a smaller project that isn't socks, just to give me a bit of a change of scene, but I definitely want the shawl. This is the one that's on the cover, so it's not picking up terribly well. I'll probably pronounce it completely incorrectly. It's, no it's not. I won't, because I thought it was a different one. Look at that, look at the detail in the shawl. This is the rubication shawl, so that one's definitely just been queued. This is the one I'm looking for, the letterpress cowl. Should be quite a quick knit. It's an Aran. Love the neutral shades in that picture. It's just gorgeous, just gorgeous. So I'll probably start with the letterpress cowl and then go on and do a shawl. So many fantastic pictures, and I just love Karie's personal styling. Look, all you colourwork lovers out there. It's fabulous. Now I believe that today is Karie's last day because she has been working solidly for months, and she's going to take a break up until 8th of January, I want to say, but there will be pattern support and things going on in the meantime. So set yourselves a reminder, chuck it in your diary. I'll try and get this uploaded before close of business, before Karie kind of closes for a little break, but it's well deserved as well. Look at these. Oh, feathers like quills. They're fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I love everything about this book. Scriptorium mittens. Epic, just absolutely epic. So thank you, Karie, for just putting a dream into print and breathing life into your project, giving birth to it. It's fabulous. I can't wait to get started. And that's probably enough wittering on from me at the moment. Thank you for tuning in and spending some of your time with me. I hope you've enjoyed the podcast. You know what to do if you have liked it. I am popping in and out as I can now. I don't have a structured sort of set time to be recording or whatever. It very much depends on work-life balance around Perth Festival of Yarn, which kind of is my life now, which is why the podcast has changed its name as well. So if you want these sort of regular updates or would like to know what's happening about me, please do hit the notification button and subscribe as well, because that way you will be told when something else is up and you won't miss what's going on. And particularly at the minute with a Vlogmas in full swing, this is a Vlogmas free zone because I do not have the time nor the inclination. That said, I do pop on several times a week and do a little story on Instagram, chats about life, maybe what I'm reading, some cultural stuff, what I'm working on, just to kind of keep in touch with you guys, because it is something that I do miss when I'm not doing it, but at the same time I know that you all appreciate just what's happened, you know, and my commitments to that. My first duty of care really has to be to the festival. It is a full-time job. It's going to be 2 days in 2018, and all our applications for vending go out mid-January, so I am gearing up to that at the moment, even though I'd wanted some time off before Christmas. Best way plans, folks. So once again, thank you for spending a bit of time with me. I hope you're all doing really well. I'd love to see what you're up to, so please do hit me up on some sort of means of communication and let me know. Happy knitting, happy spinning, happy crocheting, happy whatever it is you do. Take care of one another, and I'll try and talk to you again before Christmas. Bye bye for now.